explain something to you, motherfucker. You on probation, right? You just approached me, threatening me. Your words was, we step on shit, okay? You didn't say I, you made it plural. You said we, so that's in cohorts. I mean a gang. You on probation. Then you had a fella with you that was possessing a gun. You are not supposed to be around with people that had guns. The federal authorities, because you made a threat while possessing a gun.
That nigga told gun. Bitch ass nigga. Man, mo ass nigga approach me now, okay?
Young Thug arrested after violating probation. It started with a whisper, then a post, then suddenly the entire internet was on fire. One name was everywhere. Young Thug. Late last night, reports began circulating that the Atlanta rap superstar had been arrested again, this time for allegedly violating probation. Within minutes, fans were refreshing their feeds, blogs were scrambling for updates, and social media completely out of control. Wait, didn't he just get out? Is this real or fake? What actually happened? Nobody had clear answers, but that didn't stop the storm. Some people believe this could be a major setback in a case that already had the world watching. Others think there's more going on behind the scenes than we're being told. And then there are those who say this might not be what it looks like at all. Alright, because here's the thing, nothing is confirmed. But what is confirmed is the reaction. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and timelines everywhere are filled with confusion, concern, and speculation. Was it a simple mistake? Was it a setup, or is this the beginning of another chapter in one of the most talked about legal sagas in hip-hop history? As details slowly begin to surface, one thing becomes clear. This situation is deeper than just headlines. It's about freedom, reputation, and a career hanging in the balance. And now, the entire culture is watching closely, because if these reports are true, everything could change overnight. The moment the news hit, it didn't land like a normal headline. It felt like a shockwave. Late into the night, one post began circulating across social media, suggesting that Young Thug had been arrested again, this time for allegedly violating probation. At first, people brushed it off as just another rumor, the kind that pops up every few weeks around high-profile artists. But then more pages started posting, bigger blogs picked it up, screenshots began spreading, and just like that, the energy shifted from confusion to concern. Fans are shocked, and emotions ran high as timelines filled with questions that nobody seemed able to answer. What made the situation even more intense was the timing. Young Thug had already been at the center of one of the most talked about legal situations in hip-hop. His name had been trending on and off for months, with fans closely watching every development, hoping for progress, hoping for good news. So when these new reports surfaced, it felt like deja vu, but worse. Some people believe this could be a serious setback, while others are holding on to hope that it's being misunderstood or blown out of proportion. Right now, nothing is confirmed, and that uncertainty is exactly what's fueling the chaos. Early reports didn't provide much clarity. Some social media accounts claimed the alleged violation was tied to a minor issue, something procedural or technical. Others hinted that it could involve a stricter breach, something that might carry heavier consequences. But without official statements, everything quickly turned into speculation. Social media is going crazy, with fans, bloggers, and even other artists reacting in real time. This better not be true, one user wrote. Another said, if this is real, ew, this is bigger than we think. The comments kept pouring in, each one adding more noise, but very little clarity. At the center of it all is Young Thug himself, an artist whose influence goes far beyond music. Known for his unique sound, unpredictable style, and loyal fan base, he's not just another rapper, he's a cultural figure. That's why moments like this hit differently. It's not just about legal trouble, it's about what it means for his future, his career, and the people who've supported him through everything. Fans aren't just watching, they're emotionally invested, and right now, that emotional investment is turning into anxiety. Some people think this situation could be linked to the strict conditions often attached to probation, especially in high-profile cases. Even something small, like a misunderstanding, a missed requirement, or a technical slip can sometimes be interpreted as a violation. Others believe there could be more happening behind the scenes that hasn't been revealed yet. Unconfirmed reports suggest different possibilities, but without official confirmation, it's impossible to separate fact from assumption, and that's exactly where the tension is coming from. Meanwhile, the internet continues to react at full speed. Reaction videos are popping up, Twitter threads are breaking down every possible angle, and fan pages are reposting any update they can find. People are divided. Some are already assuming the worst, saying this could seriously impact his situation. Others are urging everyone to slow down and wait for verified information. Y'all need to chill until we know the truth. One comment reads, while another says, this feels off. Something's missing here. That split reaction only adds to the intensity of the moment. Behind all the noise, there's a deeper feeling that fans can't ignore, a sense of uncertainty about what comes next. Because if these reports turn out to be true, it could mean more than just headlines. It could affect timelines, legal strategies, and even how the public views everything that's already happened. But if it's not true, then it raises a different question. How did this spread so fast, and why does it feel so believable to so many people? Right now, everything is hanging in the balance. There are no clear answers, no confirmed details, and no official statements that fully explain what's going on. Just a wave of reactions, a flood of speculation, and a growing sense that something serious might be unfolding. And as fans continue to refresh their feeds, hoping for clarity, one thing is certain: this story is far from over, and whatever happens next could change everything. As the hours passed, the situation didn't calm down, it escalated. What started as scattered reports quickly turned into a full-blown online storm. Social media is going crazy, with new claims, screenshots, and insider updates appearing almost every minute. Some pages began posting alleged details about the supposed probation violation, while others pushed completely different narratives. The problem was, none of it lined up. Fans were left trying to make sense of a situation where every new post seemed to contradict the last. And in the middle of it all, Young Thug's name continued trending at the top, pulling in millions of views and reactions. Then came the first major twist. A few well-known hip-hop blogs hinted that the situation might not be as straightforward as it initially seemed. Instead of a clear-cut violation, some people think there could be confusion surrounding the actual terms of probation. Others suggested that what's being reported as a violation might be tied to something indirect, like an association, a misinterpreted action, or even a technicality. Unconfirmed reports suggest that legal situations like this can sometimes be triggered by things the public wouldn't even consider serious. And that possibility alone was enough to shift the conversation from panic to deep speculation. Fans are shocked not just by the news itself, but by how unclear everything feels. One minute, people were convinced this was a major legal setback. The next minute, new voices began questioning the credibility of the entire story. Something isn't adding up, one user posted, gaining thousands of likes within minutes. Another wrote, why are there no official statements yet? That question echoed across platforms, creating a sense that everyone was waiting for someone, anyone, to confirm what was really happening. But the silence only made things louder. At the same time, reactions from within the hip-hop community started to surface. While no direct confirmations came from official sources, fans noticed subtle activity, cryptic posts, deleted tweets, and vague messages that seemed to hint at something bigger. Some people believe these could be indirect responses to the situation, while others think fans are reading too deeply into normal online behavior. Still, in moments like this, every little detail feels important. Every emoji, every caption, every silence, it all gets analyzed. Theories began spreading fast. One popular idea circulating online is that this could be a misunderstanding blown out of proportion by social media. Another theory suggests that there may be behind-the-scenes developments that haven't been made public yet, and what we're seeing now is only a small piece of a much larger situation. Then there are those who believe something more serious is unfolding, pointing to how quickly the story gained traction and how many major pages picked it up. But again, nothing is confirmed, and that uncertainty continues to divide opinions. Emotions ran high as fans debated what this could mean for Young Thug's future. Some expressed frustration, feeling like every time things seem to stabilize, something new happens. Others showed support, urging people not to jump to conclusions and to wait for verified information. We've seen this before. People rush to judge before the truth comes out, one comment read. But not everyone was willing to wait. Critics began voicing concerns, questioning decisions, and speculating about responsibility, adding another layer of tension to an already intense situation. What made this moment even more powerful was the sense of unpredictability. Nobody knew what the next update would bring. Would there be an official statement clearing things up, or would new details confirm the worst fears circulating online? That uncertainty created a kind of suspense that kept everyone locked in. Phones stayed in hands, notifications stayed on, and every refresh felt like it might finally reveal the truth. Meanwhile, content creators and commentators jumped into the conversation, each offering their own breakdown of what might be happening. Some tried to piece together timelines, others analyzed past legal patterns, and a few openly admitted that there simply wasn't enough information to draw any real conclusions. Still, the discussions kept growing, pulling in more viewers and more opinions. It wasn't just news anymore. It had become a full-scale digital event. Through all of this, one thing remained clear. People are divided. Some are convinced this is a serious turning point, while others believe it's being exaggerated or misunderstood. But regardless of where they stand, everyone is watching. Because whether this turns out to be a minor issue or something much bigger, the impact is already being felt, and as the noise continues to build, the question isn't just what happened, it's what happens next. As the story kept unfolding, the tension reached a whole new level. What started as confusion was now turning into something heavier, something that felt like it could shift everything. Social media was no longer just reacting, it was dissecting every possible angle. Old clips resurfaced, past interviews were reanalyzed, and even lyrics were being brought back into the conversation. Fans were searching for clues anywhere they could find them, trying to understand whether this situation had warning signs all along or if it truly came out of nowhere. Emotions ran high as people tried to connect dots that may or may not even exist. At the center of all this noise was a growing sense of pressure. Some people believe that being in such a high-profile legal position means every move is watched, every action scrutinized. Even the smallest detail can turn into a headline. And now, with these alleged reports of a probation issue, that pressure feels like it's reached a breaking point. Supporters flooded timelines with messages of loyalty, reminding everyone of Young Thug's influence and impact, while others questioned whether this situation could have been avoided. People are divided, and the conversation is becoming more intense by the minute. Then came another twist that pushed the drama even further. A few online voices began suggesting that the situation might involve more than just one isolated issue. Some people think there could be external factors at play, things happening behind closed doors that the public isn't aware of. All unconfirmed reports suggest that legal complexities, especially in high-profile cases, can involve multiple layers that don't always get explained right away. That idea alone sparked a wave of new theories, with fans debating whether this moment is part of a bigger strategy, a misunderstanding, or something else entirely. Still, nothing is confirmed, and that uncertainty continues to drive the narrative. What made things even more emotional was the reaction from fans who have been following this journey from the beginning. For many, this isn't just about headlines, it's personal. They've watched the ups and downs, defended him during controversies, and celebrated his wins. So now, seeing his name attached to another possible legal issue hits differently. "We just want clarity," one fan wrote. Another said, "On. It feels like every time things get quiet, something pulls him back in." Those reactions highlight the emotional connection people have, turning this situation into more than just news. It's a shared experience. Meanwhile, silence from official sources continued to fuel speculation. No clear statement, no detailed explanation, just fragments of information floating across the internet. That silence created space for assumptions to grow. Some people believe that if the situation were minor, it would have already been clarified. Others argue the opposite, saying legal matters often take time before any official word is released. Both sides make sense, which is exactly why the uncertainty feels so heavy. It's like everyone is waiting for a moment that just won't come, at least not yet. Content creators added another layer to the situation, with breakdown videos, live reactions, and deep dives into every possible outcome. Some tried to stay neutral, reminding viewers that nothing is confirmed and urging caution. Others leaned into the drama, presenting theories as possibilities while carefully framing them as speculation. The line between information and entertainment started to blur, making it even harder for viewers to separate fact from narrative. And as more voices joined in, the story only grew louder. There's also a growing conversation about what this could mean moving forward. If the reports are true, some people think this could complicate an already delicate legal situation. Others believe it might not be as serious as it sounds and could be resolved quickly once all the facts are clear. But until something official is released, every outcome remains on the table. That unpredictability is what keeps people locked in, refreshing their feeds, waiting for the next update that could change everything. Right now, the atmosphere feels heavy with anticipation. Fans are watching closely, critics are speaking louder, and the entire culture seems to be holding its breath. Because at this point, it's not just about whether a violation happened, it's about what it represents. Is this a setback, a misunderstanding, or something much deeper that hasn't fully surfaced yet? Nobody knows for sure, and as the speculation continues to build, one thing is undeniable. This situation has reached a level where every new detail, no matter how small, could shift the entire story in a completely different direction. As the situation reached its most intense point, everything seemed to hang in the balance. The speculation, the reactions, the endless theories. It all built up to a moment where people expected something definitive to finally emerge. And then, slowly, a shift began. Not a full explanation, not a clear resolution, but just enough movement to change the tone of the conversation. Some sources started hinting that the situation might not be as severe as initially feared. Others suggested that what was being described as a probation violation could involve details that had been misunderstood or taken out of context. Still, nothing is confirmed, and that thin line between relief and concern kept everyone on edge. Fans are shocked at how quickly the narrative has changed multiple times within such a short period. One moment it felt like a major turning point, the next it seemed like a possible misunderstanding. Plus, that emotional back and forth left people drained but still fully locked in. "This is a roller coaster," one user wrote, while another said, "We need facts, not guesses." And yet, guesses continued to dominate the conversation. Social media is going crazy, and every small update, real or rumored, felt like it carried massive weight. Another major twist came when some online voices began questioning the origin of the entire story. Some people think the initial reports may have been amplified too quickly without proper verification, turning a limited piece of information into a full-scale viral narrative. Others believe there is truth to the situation, but that it has been exaggerated through layers of reposts and assumptions. That idea sparked a new debate. Was this a real crisis unfolding in real time? Or a situation that spiraled out of control because of how fast information spreads online? The answer remains unclear, and that uncertainty only adds to the suspense. At the same time, attention started shifting toward what might happen next. If there is any truth to the reports, people are wondering how it could impact Young Thug's current legal standing. Some believe even a minor issue could carry serious consequences given the circumstances, while others argue that not every reported violation leads to a major outcome. Unconfirmed reports suggest that cases like this often involve complex legal interpretations, meaning the final outcome might depend on details the public hasn't even seen yet. That possibility keeps the door open to multiple outcomes, none of which can be confirmed right now. Emotionally, the moment feels heavy. Supporters continue to stand behind him, expressing hope that the situation is either false or something that can be resolved without long-term damage. Critics, on the other hand, are using this moment to question patterns and decisions, suggesting that situations like this don't happen without reason. People are divided, and the gap between those perspectives is growing wider. But regardless of which side people are on, the level of attention remains the same. Everyone is watching. There's also a noticeable shift in how people are talking about the bigger picture. This isn't just about one headline anymore. It's about how quickly narratives can form and evolve. Within hours, the story went from a rumor to a trending topic, from speculation to what some people were treating as fact. And now, as doubts begin to surface, it's clear that the truth might be more complicated than anyone expected. That realization has made some fans step back, urging others to wait for confirmed information before jumping to conclusions. Still, the silence from official channels continues to play a major role. Without a clear statement, every possibility remains open. That silence has become its own kind of message, one that people are trying to interpret in different ways. Some see it as a sign that things are still being sorted out. Others think it means there's more going on behind the scenes than we realize. But until something concrete is released, all of it remains speculation. Right now, the story sits at a turning point. The intensity hasn't gone away, but it has shifted into something more uncertain, more suspenseful. It's no longer just about what happened. It's about what it means and what comes next. And as the culture continues to watch, refresh, and react, one thing is clear: this situation hasn't reached its final chapter yet. Whatever the truth turns out to be, it's going to have an impact. The only question is how big that impact will be, and whether the full story will match the version that spread so quickly across the internet. As everything continues to unfold, one thing is clear: this situation has left more questions than answers. From the moment the first report surfaced to where things stand now, the story has taken multiple turns, each one adding more tension, more speculation, and more uncertainty. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and social media is still going crazy trying to figure out what's real and what's not. Some people believe this is a serious turning point, while others think the entire situation may have been misunderstood or exaggerated. But right now, nothing is confirmed, and that's exactly what keeps everyone watching. What makes this even more intense is how quickly narratives can form in today's digital world. Within hours, a single report can turn into a global conversation, shaping opinions before the full story even comes out. And in a case like this, where so much is already at stake, every rumor, every theory, and every reaction carries weight. People are divided, and the truth feels just out of reach. Is this a real setback, or just another example of how fast misinformation can spread? That's the question everyone is asking. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think really happened? Do you believe the reports? Or do you think there's more to the story that we haven't seen yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And if you've been following this story from the start, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Because trust me, this situation is still developing, and the next update could change everything.